thing. If they do ban me for saying stuff like this, they just, not necessarily a martyr, but they just will prove, because I mean, they wouldn't be no different than TikTok or Facebook or, you know what I'm saying, for telling the truth. Yeah. It's the truth.
You know, TikTok owned by the Chinese. They don't play. They're not about to play with you. They gonna make sure they get their message across. Been in courts about how teenage suicide has been going up because of TikTok. I pay attention to who giving the message sometimes. Sometimes you got to. Sometimes you just take the message. But yeah, TikTok has been under a lot of fire by coming from different angles, multiple angles.
And here I am talking positive, trying to wake people up, and they shutting my live videos.
Trying to help the kids.
Trying to help people, and then they say my stuff is age restriction.
You let the kids shake their behind, you let them watch the makeup, and you let them grow up fast, watching all the we can't talk about Jesus.
The false.
Or lack thereof.
One of the reasons too that TikTok shut me down is because I asked a question. I said, whatever you worship, you're going to mimic or become like whatever you worship or whatever you idolize. I did when I was a Christian, when I didn't know any better. And guess what? Even when I was a Christian, I was nothing like Jesus. Yeah. Nothing like Jesus. And so that's what I said on TikTok.
Just going with emotions.
Yeah. I'm like, how many people that worship Jesus is actually like Jesus? According to the Bible, Jesus was into the metaphysical. Wow. He talked to the trees. He talked to the storm. He talked to the water. Yep. He did. That's the metaphysical. So, and then according to the Bible, it said, "Greater work shall you do after me."
But people would see somebody outside doing that and call them weird.
And they call me weird.
But you just came from church.
Yeah. And these are valid questions. How many people that worship Jesus is actually like Jesus and did the same stuff that Jesus did? And I said majority of these churches are cults. Why? They're money changers and den of thieves and brood of vipers. That's what I was saying. Because I say, here it is, you worship Jesus in the same, according to the Bible, the same churches that Jesus went and overturned the tables because he called them brood of vipers, money changers, right? And den of thieves. You have so many people getting hurt in church than you do anywhere else. You get what I'm saying? You got so much corruption in these churches that
they taking on the Holy Spirit. No, you taking on some kind of other kind of spirit.
You got another spirit. Talking about receiving the gift of the Holy Ghost. No, well, I don't know what ghost that is, because the spirit of the true Creator God, Most High God, already dwells in you.
Already in you.
Already in you. So we've been fooled and tricked to believe we're receiving something else.
And it's certain things in the book that tell you it's in you, but then you turn around and how it's taught, the way it's taught, the way the slave masters told Nat Turner to teach you, it's outside of you. It's the deity. It's here. It's there. It's in the book. It's in you.
Yep. And so that's why I wanted TikTok shut me down in the midst of my live videos. So.
And even think about it, like you said, what God is telling you to break up the languages and stuff, and it was like, if you break down the word gospel, what does it sound like?
Spell.
Say it slow. God spell.
Yeah.
What spell? Yeah. What God?
Yeah.
Who? What? I don't want to be under no spell. I want to understand what can I be free? You know? So yeah, it's
A through Z, spelling.
Oh yeah.
Program to cast spells on ourselves.
Yeah. Because that's not the original language. That's not the real language. But yeah, I caught on to that too in the midst of learning some things. I'm like, oh, God spell. Oh, they say, oh, it's supposed to be called the good spell. Why we got to be under a spell, period?
Yeah. And that's what I say. You see me doing weird, strange stuff like that out in public, or hugging somebody. They hugging and holding for a long time. No, we're communicating. We're oming.
And it's honestly really stuff that Jesus did. Yahshua, you know.
Yeah, and people called me crazy for years. You know, Marvin, you crazy, you talking to trees and this and that and the wind. What are you talking about? But yet you worship Jesus. And Jesus did all these things according to the Bible. But yet I'm crazy. That lets you know how deep the programming and the brainwashing is. So all you people, Christians, who worship Jesus, You're nothing like Jesus.
Even in Matthew, it tells you don't worship. What Jesus himself, Yeshua, told you not to worship him. He said only worship your God, the Lord your God.
Serve God only.
Yeah, serve God only. He even told you you're not supposed to worship me, but just stuff get twisted and for selfish purposes.
Yeah, and even when I was a preacher and I was out there and under Christianity, this stuff never came to me. I was like, I never thought about, am I really like Jesus? I really never thought about going out there talking to a tree or talking to the water or talking to the storm.
Even though you were reading it.
Even though I was reading it, even though I was worshiping Jesus. So I had no clue what that is or what that meant at the time. I really didn't. It was something that was a figment of. And that's what it is. People walk
It was
around.
just a programming.
Yeah, it's a program. When you program, you don't know what you're doing. Look yourself in the mirror. For those who are religiously going to church, look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, am I like the Jesus that I read about in these Bibles? And if you're nothing like that, you need to change the narrative. You need to change something different. I know this is going to mess up somebody's theology. It's going to mess them up because you look at yourself like, wait a minute, yeah, I'm doing nothing that Jesus did. Yeah. And yeah, I do go to a church that's money changers and brood of vipers and all this and that. Yeah, you got some churches that require people to tell them how much they make.
Ooh.
You got some churches.
We ain't gonna get on these churches.
Churches in St. Louis and all over. You got to show your tax returns and all that. Man, money chain, brood of vipers, man, den of thieves. That's what they are. Den of thieves. And I'm gonna talk about it because I told y'all I was a plant to be planted in Christianity. And then you need to know where Christianity came from. You need to know the Crusaders, the Crusades, and like the Ku Klux Klan ain't nothing but another form of the Crusaders. And so you taking Christianity, these folk used to barbarically instill fear in people to accept that religion.
The Christ Crusaders?
Yeah. They killed people and instill fear for them to say, you're going to be a Christian or we're going to kill you. So it's the programming.
A lot of the Christ Crusaders don't even know that. They don't even know the history of they.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. You need to know whatever you worshiping. I don't care if it's Christianity, Buddhism, Muslim, whatever religion that you're into. You need to know the origin.
Do some research.
Do your own research. Do your own due diligence. And there's nothing that I'm saying that is wrong at all. I'm saying do your own research and come out of that Bible, come out of those Torahs and the book of Enoch and all these different things and go within and go without and start looking and researching where all these things originated from, and you'll find the truth. And it's like, man, that dude was right. Yeah. And people look at me saying I've lost my way because I'm wearing these crystals and stones, in my crown. But I said, well, I've lost my way, but hold up, sister.
Lost what way?
I lost my way. I need to find my way back to God. Yeah, this one sister told me that. And other people think that. So my thing is, okay, so if I got these stones and this crown around my head and you say it's devilish or if it's evil, wait a minute, brothers and sisters, especially those who are married and you got wedding rings on. Oh, you got diamonds in them.
It's a stone.
You got stones, emeralds. It's a ring. So
wearing gold,
silver. It's a band around your finger, and you don't even know the representation of that. So this is a band around my head. It's no different. You want a band around your fingers, any finger, or around your neck. Jewelry around your neck, diamonds, emeralds around your neck. It's no different.
Please.
And then for those who are religious and say, oh, I'm into the, well, go to Exodus 28, 17 through 20. And it talks about the breastplate of righteousness, right? And what does it have? Stones in it. Two in particular is the jasper and also the amethyst.
The Bible is a spiritual book. It's just so much. It's just so much confusion and just lack of knowledge and just lack of spirit, like in it. In the teachings, I would say, not in it, but the book will tell you. A lot of people just don't, like, honestly, don't even read the Bible no more. They just repeat things that they hear.
Forget Peter, Paul, James, John. Listen, we're going to continue to tell them fairy tale stories about these guys and these people in the body, in the Bible. No, we're living today.
And a lot of them didn't even write their own books. Like it's an account of somebody else telling that person's story.
Listen, yeah. So I'm telling on account, I was telling my own story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey, this is the struggle you go with. I was talking about today's time, which was able to relate to people of today at that time, and what the struggles that we face and go through. Yeah, I was helping people, you know, come out of the matrix.
Really elevate and really tap into their spirit and not just repeat stuff that I've been taught and don't got a clue. Yeah. But a lot of people really don't honestly know how to tap into the God within. Honestly, but yeah, I would say just when you study and do your research and like you said, go outside. You'll really learn your lessons through experience. Book can't teach you like your life. It can be like a guidance and to a certain extent. It can be like confirmation sometimes, but life is the best teacher.
Absolutely.
But listen, let me go ahead and close out this episode of the Soul to Soul podcast. See you next week.
Lisa, Louie, MBJ Live.
All of that.